Life lessons often come too late, leaving us wondering how things would have been different if we knew about these specific things soon. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Leila. I'm a nurse here in Germany. I do work in home intensive care. Also, I'm a part-time English teacher in a nursing school. On this channel, we'll be talking about the experience that I have passed through as a nurse in Germany, and I also talk about finances. So for today's video, I'm just going to be talking about the things I wish I knew during my Ausbildung time and the things that I wish I knew earlier as I came to Germany. So I wrote these things down and I'm going to be getting out my phone and I'm going to be explaining them to you guys. So number one was investing instead of saving. So when I came to Germany, I never knew that there is something called investment because I came when I'm 19 and actually I was turning 19. Yeah, or I was ending 19, somewhere there. So I was young and I didn't know about investing. And when I came to Germany, I had my pocket money because I was doing afew. So of course, at the end of the month, I used to have a few euros remaining on my bank account. But I did not know what I could use that money for to make the money work for me. Now, for a person right now who is doing afew or who is in the Ausbildung or anyone else who is here in Germany working, I would advise you to invest a bit of money so that it can work for you, because in Germany we don't have like high yield saving accounts, you know, since the Aktien, like the bank interests are too high, something like that. They call them Aktien. Zinsen, they call them Zinsen. They are too high, and that's why we do not have high yield savings. So if you put money in your bank, like for example in Uganda, those times back when I was in high school, they used to say you can save your money with a bank and that money works for you because you're saving with a bank and the bank can use your money to borrow it to other people, and in that way you get a small interest. In Germany, it's not possible to earn through that because there is no profit that you are getting just from saving your money to that with a bank, like opening up a savings account and saving your money. That money is not going to produce any interest. It's just going to be sitting there, and you're going to be finding it there in the same amount that you have. The same amount you have put in is the same amount you're going to be finding there. And so instead of doing such a savings account, if you have goals of starting to construct something in your home country, and maybe right now you are in an Ausbildung, or right now you are au pair and you're going to be doing Ausbildung, and then you're planning after the Ausbildung to do something with the savings that you're saving, I would advise you to put it in funds, because in that way you will be getting a profit, you know. So funds is a sure thing because you're not going to lose that money that you have put in, but that money is going to be producing the interest. Okay. So I would say if you are outside there and you don't know about investments, you should inform yourself about funds. That's the one thing that I would advise you, because I do have funds. I have profits with my funds, and the money that I've put in is, I usually save 50 euros every month, you know. And since I opened it, I've managed to make a profit of 500 euros. Okay. So I would say if you want to achieve a certain goal and it's not going to be needing money right now, you need to save money for it, I would say open up investments. And also, even if you do not have any goals of investing in 5 years to come, just open up investments, because investments are going to be making you profits forever. You can even use that money in the future to buy a house here in Germany, or you can use that money in the future to pay your pension, you know, because that money is going to be producing interest, and you're not even saving more money. You're just putting off 50 euros. You can even save 15 euros, yeah. But me, I save 50 euros. But you can, if you don't have 50 euros, you can say, okay, 25 euros, I invest in funds. So how to get those funds? You have to go to the bank, because those are investments that are managed. You go to your bank and you ask your bank to open for you funds where you are going to be saving 25 euros. Now, I'm saying funds, it's because it's the one that I know, and it's the one that I have, and it's the one that has made me profit right now. Of course, I also have another investment that I opened, and it's called ETF. And this ETF is, to be specific, let me mention the ETF because there are kinds of ETFs. and they advised me that this one was the best, and that's why I bought this one. And I'm also saving in this one 50 euros, but I've not yet seen any profit with it because I've just started paying money inside this month. So let me check for you guys what the ETF is called, so that you can also get the same. So Astons, first of all, I'm going to tell you the funds that I have, yeah, because even funds, they have different category, okay? Because funds, like I usually explain, that's a bucket of companies together that someone invests in to get profits. So the funds that I have, they are called Deca Global Champion CT. This is the best performing investment company, the Deca, and that's why I decided to take it, even when it's going to cost me a bit more, because you might get funds that are not performing well, you know. They're not making you lose money, but they're not giving you bigger profit, you know. And that's why I decided to go for Deca. Recently, I had a conversation with my financial advisor, because I changed from the one I had to the new one, and the one that I was changing to was advising me to change my funds. The company I bought my funds, you know, the bank I bought my funds, she told me that Deca is expensive. And then I told her, in VFund, like, what do you mean? And then she told me, because the funds are managed for investment, so that means you have to pay monthly a specific charge. And then I said, yes, I do pay, but that's around 12 euros, somewhere there. And then she told me, yeah, that's expensive. And then I was like, okay, I'll ask my boyfriend, because my boyfriend is also like a banker. He is working in the bank, and he works for this Deca. So I asked him, why did you decide to advise me to take that Deca instead of taking other ones, which are not expensive? And he explained to me the reason why he decided that the Deca is the best, because they rate these investment banks, you know, they rate them from the best performing to the less performing. So if I had bought my funds from another company, it will not assure me that I'm getting profits. And that's why he was like, Deca is yes, you're going to be paying 12 euros, but you will be assured that you will, at the end of the year, you will see that you have made a profit out of your funds, and not just a 1% profit. It will be a profit that is significant. And I was like, okay, it makes sense, because I wanted to change to a cheaper one, you know. So if you have Sparkasse, you can go to their bank filiale, and then you ask them to help you to open up funds in the Deca, and the funds are called Deca Global Champions, and I pay there 50 euros. Then the other thing that I have, the investment that I have now, this one is for someone who is not interested in funds, or who is not well versed with funds, but can do other investments on their own, maybe using the apps like Scalable Capital, or this one, which is called. If you want another investment that I have, I would advise is the ETF, because this one, they told me it's also worth it. And the ETF that I have is also called Deca MSCI World UCITS. Okay, this one you don't have to go to the bank. You can download that app, and then buy this one. Okay, and in this one, I just, because it's new, I just bought it. I cannot say how much profit I have made because it's new, but they told me it's also one that is very well performing. Yeah, it's called MSCI World. The reason why Deca is written on, it's because the investment app that I have, or that I'm using Deca to do my investments, because they convinced me that it's the best performing. And yes, I can believe it, because I've seen that it has performed well with my funds, you know, and that's why I use the Deca. Yeah, the Deca app or the Deca bank to buy the investments. Now, the other thing that I wish I knew as I came here for Ausbildung, or one thing that I wish I knew earlier, is that you cannot get a salary raise as a nurse if you do not open your mouth, if you do not ask for it. Okay, for some organization that like, for example, the bank, my boyfriend, for him, he would get a salary raise just like that without him having to ask, because for them, they follow a specific there are levels that they follow, how, depending on how long you are there and how much work you have done and all that, you know. They stay loyal to their people, so they increase their salaries regularly. But in nursing, I'm saying it most times because I've worked in different sectors, and I say it, You cannot get a salary raise if you do not ask for it. Even when your work is with they have, this tooth, they say sometimes we have stufe. I will explain you guys I will explain to you guys a bit at what stufe mean, yeah. But they have like levels, and they be like, if you fall under this level, you're fresh from Ausbildung, this is how much you're going to earn. And if you stay with us 2 years, this is how much you earn. Some companies or some hospitals or Altersheim, they do have those levels, and it's because they are öffentliche or they are kirchliche Einrichtungen, They are the church institutes, the hospitals that are owned by the church or that work with the church. They have those Stufe, those levels, Or the öffentliche Dienst, they also have those levels, because they're öffentliche. So sometimes they have those Stufe, but sometimes they don't change your Gehalt automatic. They might need you to first remind them that, hey, because you have Stufe, this is my second year that I'm with you. It would be high time that I get the salary raise, because ich habe geguckt nach Stufe, ich gehöre in Stufe 2. Now, if they put you in Stufe 1 in the beginning, after the Ausbildung, you have to go there and remind them that now you are in Stufe 2, Because if you do not remind them, they will ausnutzen that, and they will leave your salary at that. And then they will say, we forgot. Sorry, wir haben viel zu tun gehabt und wir haben vergessen, dich zu informieren oder deine Stufe zu aktualisieren, So you have to always know, if you are working for a church institute, be it a hospital, be it a Altersheim, you have to know if they have Stufe. Okay, and if they have Stufe, save that so that you can always go back and look on it and check which Stufe now you are, depending on how long you're working with them. And if you are working in öffentliche Dienst, you also have to check those Stufe so that you know where you are falling. I recently had to advise my sister about it, because my sister is working in travel nursing, and her company is really always giving her Einsätze. Like the travel company she's working for is placing her in how is it called, in Krankenhäuser. It's placing her in care homes that are kirchlich, And kirchliche Altersheim, they are known to be better paying. They are better paying than the private ones, If you're working for Diakonie, or if you're working for the kirchliche Einrichtungen in care homes, those ones are good paying. Now, those are the ones she's working in, because most times when she gets placements, the boss is sending her to kirchliche Einrichtungen, and then she wanted to bargain to increase her salary because she has better now experience. She has worked with them now almost 1.5 or 2 years now, and yeah, so I was like, okay, it's high time you ask for a salary raise. Even when you are in travel nursing, you are entitled to asking for salary raise, because your experience improves with time, And also, if you go for travel nursing, they usually ask you how much experience do you have, and they depend on that to give you a salary payment per hour, So for her, when she was beginning, she didn't have experience in travel nursing, so they gave her the normal one, okay? And now it's high time for her to go and ask for a raise. If you are here in Germany and you know that you have been working for a company for almost 1.5 years, you have been working loyally, like not falling sick, you have been doing Einspringen, like taking up work where people have fallen sick, you taking up the work, your salary will not be raised. The maximum that they can do for you is to give you a Tango-Shine, or to give you a good shine, these cards that they give you so that you can go and fuel in your car, or to go and shop like things like Lebensmittel, like food stuff, and that money is usually 30 euros, maximum 50 euros, so that's the only thing that you will get for them until you open your mouth and go to the boss, like not initially going, so the starting step would be writing an email to your boss, and I would like to have a talk about my salary. When they say yes, you can come on Tuesday, then you go there, and you go there with your points prepared. You go there when you have first researched how long have you been in this company. If it's longer than 1.5 or it's 1.5, then you are entitled to having a conversation about salary raise. So if you have been longer, it's even way easier for you to get a salary raise, because here in Germany, they increase salary according to how long you have stayed in a company. And then the other things that play a role, how many krankmeldungen have you had? If you haven't had any, that's already a positive thing because you are someone they can count on. And if you have been doing fortbildung and weiterbildung, and even when they are financed by the work, that's also something, because not every people, if you're working in the health sectors here in Germany, people never have time. People will be given opportunities to attend fortbildung, and they will say no because they have other things. They want to have their private time to do private things, because most times the time we spend in the fortbildung is time that's not paid. Most times in the alter time, they don't consider that as working time. They'll be like, after your free shift, there is a fortbildung for 1 hour, and then they will tell you to go there. And if you cannot, you can say, I cannot because I have an appointment. I cannot because I need to pick my child. So most of the workers do not have time for that fortbildung unless it's a Pflicht fortbildung, like it's a must fortbildung. But for optional fortbildung, and if you take your time and go there, that's already something to show that you are someone who is committed and someone who is invested in doing better, in giving better performance at your work. So that's also something that you can use to bargain. Do not just sit back thinking that automatically the boss will come and tell you, I'm going to increase your 2,000 euros to 2,500. Those chances are very little because they know you are less informed. So it's very good to be informed. So like I said before, when you're going there to bargain, make sure you inform yourself what is the salary of nurses in this year, because each year the salary of nurses changes. Most times they change, they increase this, they increase that. So it's very important for you to Google what is the salary range for nurses with this much experience, or what is the salary ranges for these nurses working in such an Einrichtung. If it's not private, it's kirchlich, then say in kirchliche Einrichtungen, like that. It's good to search. And if you cannot search still, it won't be a reason for you not to have a conversation about a salary raise. You should go and ask for that salary. At least you ask for it and they say no, rather than you sitting back and hoping, they will think about me. They will not think about you. So the last thing that I wish I knew, this is actually related to what I've been talking about, learning how to negotiate. You guys should learn how to negotiate. Of course, in the Ausbildung, it might not be so useful because sowieso in the Ausbildung, all of you guys are getting the same salary, But after the Ausbildung, then you have to fight for your life, because if you don't know how to negotiate, you will get money that the helper are being paid. If you are a person who has done 3-year Ausbildung and you don't know how to negotiate, you might end up earning the same money as a person who did 1-year Ausbildung. And I kid you not, people do face this, because of them not knowing how to negotiate, not them knowing how much nurses are earning, not them knowing things that they are supposed to be exposed to. They might get used, So learn how to negotiate. And if you haven't watched that video of how I negotiated my salary last year, you should go and watch it. I talked about the tips and I talked about how I did it. So if you haven't watched it yet, you should go and watch it. So that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. In case you have any questions, comment them down below and I'll be glad to chat with you guys in a comment section. Bye. Today's video is a bit different. I'm in my kitchen because I have been trying to clean up. And then I remember there is something that I wanted to talk to you guys about without forgetting it. And I pulled out my camera.